Stream live.
There we are. The stream is live. I guess we're ready for episode 625. This is the Techno Buffet podcast, episode number 625, recorded Thursday, April 20th, 2023. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Dum dum dum.
Welcome to another possibly exciting episode of the Techno Buffet podcast.
Yay!
Yes, so we were scheduled to resume our recording last week when the holiday of Passover was over, but something happened.
Yes. Friggin' Taylor Swift, dude. Blame her.
You're blaming a pop star? Would she be
Well,
would she
sure, if
constitute a
you're an
pop star?
star.
Would she be classified as a pop star?
I guess.
Okay, well I don't know. A popular musician. I don't know what the appropriate terminology is.
I don't know. But bottom line was we got tickets to go see her in Tampa, and that's what we were doing.
Yes, I was very disappointed. I just went with my alternate activity.
What's that?
Bread hunting.
That doesn't seem fair.
Well, at that point I had not had bread in 8 days, so I wanted some bread.
Yes, but the poor bread, I mean, it can't even defend itself.
No, it did not. I killed it and all of its children.
It wasn't nice.
No, but I was hungry, so it's been a busy. When was the last time we recorded? Let's see here. Let's check my calendar. The last episode would have been March 30th, so it actually has been 20 days. Oh, 21 days. So we didn't record on the 6th or the 13th.
No, we recorded on the 6th.
We recorded on the 6th? No, we didn't.
Oh, okay.
You know where I was. At the time that I would have recorded the show, I was recounting the Exodus from Egypt.
Oh, yes. And what a blast that had to have been.
No, not really.
Oh,
I do have to say that I did get a lovely note from Murray Spiegel, the author of 300 Ways to Say the Four Questions. He was very flattered about the letter I wrote him.
really?
Well, I've been using his book for years, so I decided to buy some additional copies to give as gifts to other people.
That sounds like fun.
Yes, every year I go to the book and perform the traditional four questions, which are part of Passover, in a different language. Thus, the title of the book, 300 Ways to Say the Four Questions. That would be 300 languages. Yes,
That's a lot.
yeah, but after years of randomly opening up the book to a page, I was challenged to start from the beginning and go to the end. So if you figure I do two languages each night for 2 nights every year, it's going to take me a couple of years to go through every language in order.
Yes.
But progress. Apparently, my Old English, it also has dead languages, is not as impressive as one might think.
Why not?
I don't know. I guess my accent needs some improvement. You know, Owen not either nicht. I
Okay.
don't know why my old English sounds like Scottish. Anyway, but other than that, I did some technology projects, as I always do. The Techno Buffet database server got migrated to a brand new server. The
Ooh,
last time that server was updated was 2014. I checked.
that sounds like a lot of fun.
Well, there's this concept called administration tax, which is the time that it costs you to sort of administer a server versus,
Right.
let's say, paying somebody else. But I think I got a good run of 9 years out of the thing. I still have a few more things to migrate before I shut the old one down. Hopefully before the bill from Linode comes for an extra server. And then I have to work on the web server. But again, got some new stuff, a few new toys. Linode has VLANs now,
Wow.
private VLANs.
Oh, good.
It's a good thing, trust me.
It is.
Yeah, and I, of course, upgraded the system in my family's vacation area to a nice new state-of-the-art OpenSense router, which I mentioned I was going to do. And I got the people at Spectrum to come out and try to I thought it was interesting because they said, well, we didn't do anything. I said, well, it works better.
Uh,
They said, well, why don't you use our router? It'll work perfectly. I said, no, it won't. Pretty much it was, they claimed they did absolutely nothing, but now the speed is there. So I don't care if they did absolutely nothing. It worked. So I
good.
went from 70 down and like 4 or 5 up to 400 down and 20 up. So don't care if they don't know how they did it. They did something. Anyway, other than that, just the usual stuff. I'm preparing for my trip next week. So I may have mentioned for the first time in 3 years, my company is sending me away on business.
Away on the business.
Yes, back to Europe. So
Congratulations.
yes, I'm going to be at a luxurious airport hotel for 2 weeks. So I may ask you if you are willing to record the show in your afternoon, which will be my evening.
Uh, next week.
Next week and or the week after.
Um, so next week, probably. The week after, and yeah, the week after, the 4th of May, I will be unavailable.
Are
Unless you want to record like really early.
are you?
We could do Wednesday, the
We
3rd.
can. For some odd reason, I have absolutely nothing planned, except for I suppose there's a possibility that my coworkers in Europe will want to spend time with me outside of work.
It could happen.
I don't know. The last time I went, not a single one of them invited me anywhere, but it's different coworkers this time. You know, the same people haven't been employed there continuously like I have. So maybe they will invite me out. They did invite me out the first night I'm there when I'm jet lagged.
And did you go?
I don't know. That's Monday. I'm leaving this weekend and not coming back until the week after. But so why are you not available on the 4th? Are you celebrating May 4th?
No,
Are you a Star Wars fan?
I am not.
Neither
I
am
am
I.
traveling to visit coworkers.
See, we're all visiting coworkers.
They're
But
also friends.
yep. So if you want to try to do something, we can figure out. Why don't we take it 1 week at a time and figure out next week when we can record earlier for you and later for me.
Okay.
So we will. But please stay tuned to the YouTube channel, which is the only place where you might actually know. I just realized something. I don't know if I can get a live stream going from a hotel room. Stay tuned to the feed, and something will pop up on the feed if we record something. I could try. To be honest, I probably have scrounge up enough equipment to record a live stream in the hotel room, but I think it might be easier to just use a nice traditional microphone and just do a pre-recording. And
Yep.
anyway, so that's the excitement here. I have been packing for a few days. I like to pack early because if I forgot to put something into the suitcase, I still have time to have Amazon deliver it to me.
Yep.
I ordered all the important things: socks, underwear.
Ooh, good job.
You know how much they charge for laundry at hotels?
I have no
I
idea.
would rather just bring extra. The last time I let a hotel do laundry for me on a business trip, I felt like they were charging me more to launder the clothing than I paid for it.
That's a lot.
And while I'm not paying because this is a business trip and I'm going to send in my receipts, I feel like wasting money is not something I should do just for the convenience. Anyway, so that's what I've been up to, and I have a lot of projects that I've been fiddling with. So if I have time in Ireland when I am not. Oh, did I mention it was Ireland? I said Europe, but specifically it is the airport in Ireland that I'm going to be hanging around.
Oh,
Well, the airport hotel in Ireland, to be precise. The only time I plan on being in the airport itself is when I fly into it. But I figure my evenings after I've finished my duties for the day will probably be pretty boring because I don't drink. And even if I did, I don't consider it a fun thing to hang around an airport hotel bar. I don't know about
really?
you. Why? What would you do in an airport hotel bar?
I'm sure they have alcohol.
But I don't drink.
Well, that sounds like a you problem.
Yeah. Okay. Let's say I did drink. What would I be doing? Talking to random strangers? I don't think that's really my thing.
You could, or you could, not. And
Just drink
uh,
quietly with myself.
yep.
I can do that in the room for cheaper.
Okay.
They say they're going to give me a refrigerator. And there's
Isn't
a.
that what you always wanted for Christmas?
No, I meant in the hotel room.
Oh,
So that I could put a beverage in the refrigerator.
oh, that's cool.
One hopes. I'm not sure I trust my friend Diego, the reservations agent. Hotel reservation for me. For example, he's only worked at the hotel for 5 months. And he used to work for a different company, but he didn't like them as much. He likes
Oh,
working at the hotel.
well, who doesn't?
I don't know. I don't know everybody who works at that hotel, but I just find it interesting when any person who you're having a customer service interaction with decides to tell you more about their life story than you would expect. But, obviously I took it to heart. He shared with me, so I took note.
Cool.
Anyway, so that's pretty much it. I'm going to hang around an airport hotel. I'm going to do some work. I'm going to talk to some people. And normally I have never been deployed to this particular office for 2 weeks. As you may remember, I was deployed somewhere for 8 weeks. I was deployed to a different place for 4 weeks, but never Ireland for 2 weeks. Not that I haven't passed through there, but so it should be interesting.
So, are you excited? Are you going to have fun? Are you going to enjoy it?
Well, since they've never sent me there over a weekend, I've never had very much free time. The last few times I've been there, it was 24 hours, just passing through on my way back to the U.S. So I stopped there on my way back from Bulgaria and talked to some people before leaving. So I've booked a tour,
A tour.
a walking tour of parts of Dublin.
Well, that sounds exciting.
What would you expect me to book?
A, a tour?
Without walking? I considered the bus, but I figured,
No, walking is great.
yeah, I just figured I would see a different part of Dublin than I did the last time I actually left the airport, which was 2017. And that was during a hurricane, so it didn't quite work out. So I'm going to go on a walking tour. I figure for the one day I'm really going to leave the airport, and we'll see what happens. So if anybody has any advice, or what do you think the statistical likelihood that somebody listens to this program that lives in Dublin, Ireland?
Uh, 3 out of 4.
So you're saying 3 out of 4 people who listen to this program are Irish?
No, I'm saying that there's a 3 out of 4 chance that somebody that listens to this podcast is from or in Dublin.
So what you're saying is 75% of our listeners are Irish?
No, I'm saying there's a 75% chance that at least one of
Yeah.
our listeners is Irish.
Okay. We'll see what happens. But I don't think I'd be very exciting. I think I'll be struggling with jet lag for the first week. Then I'm going to come back here and struggle with more jet lag. Anyway, so that's been what's been going on. Since we haven't talked about anything technology related, we should do that.
Yes.
I'm very
Cool.
upset about this first story.
Oh no.
Google has effectively killed third-party assistant smart displays, and I am sitting here next to a Lenovo Smart Display 10 I got cheap.
Why did they do that?
They said that they are no longer providing software updates. They didn't say why.
That's not cool.
Yeah. Now, part of it I sort of understand that they're not really developing the operating system for it. But we're still back to I bought a thing. There's nothing wrong with the thing, and someday it will stop working. And the other problem is there isn't a new thing.
There's not a new thing.
No. Lenovo doesn't really make another smart display. I think they stopped making them a few years ago.
And even if they did, then they'd be killed. It's not cool.
Well, even if I went for a Nest device, admittedly I have several of the regular Nest hubs, which are still getting updates, but I don't know if I want to go get a Nest Hub Max, which is also an older device, if I want to continue to do video in some rooms. So I have one place that has video. I keep it in the corner of my living room, and I use it to do video calls to my parents because they can't figure out how to do it in other devices.
Oh.
They like to see me every so often so they can see that I'm still here and say I should get a haircut, etc.
I would agree with them.
How long do you think my hair is?
I agree that you should see them.
Yes, so I do see them.
It's about time.
They were just here a few days ago for the holiday.
Mm-hmm.
They were here for the entirety of Passover.
You keep saying that.
They complain that I nearly killed them.
Why would you do that?
Well, I blame a town in New York for having the nerve to refer to that as a road.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking of writing Google as well, because while Google would have used the town information, who had the nerve to call it a road, I really think they shouldn't send people on a something that starts out as a one-lane gravel road, and then very shortly, without the ability to turn around, turns into two wheel ruts on the side of a cliff. With
That sounds like a road.
okay, so one side is a large drop down to the ground, and the other side is a steep cliff face.
You said there were two wheel ruts, so clearly somebody makes it through.
Yes, but I said they should have nerve calling it a road, as in calling it a town road. You want to call it a private structure, fine. But having a sign that says it is a road and expecting people to go up it without knowing that you're going to end up in a situation where you are concerned because there are fallen tree branches and ruts and nowhere to maneuver, not a good idea. I should write an angry letter to that town.
Angry, angry, angry.
At the very least, they could put a sign that says, like not paved or one way or something, or no outlet. Well, actually, technically, there is an outlet. It's just a scary outlet. But, yeah. Anyway, we're off topic again. So hopefully, it was my tendency for tangents today is entertaining, if nothing else.
I'm entertained.
Yeah. So the Google Home app has improved support for curtains, heaters, appliances, and some other stuff. So do you want to, using the Google Home app, control your washer and refrigerator?
Yes, it would be nice. You know, wouldn't it be great if Home Assistant would unload the washer and dryer?
How could it unload it?
Well,
I don't
the
think
only
there's any
time you really
automation.
need to do anything with the washer and dryer is when you're right in front of it. So if you're going to control your washer and dryer automatically, then you kind of also need to control the part that requires you to be right in front of it, right?
I was more thinking that the integration I would want with my home would be monitoring my washer and dryer. And I
Oh,
tried that, if you remember. I tried to make it so that I would know when my washer and dryer was done, so I would know when to go do something with it.
and how'd that work out?
Not well.
Oh, I'm
The
sorry.
Smart Dry, which is the thing that got discontinued, I had some issues with it picking up the correct data to tell me when it was in use, and I had some issues with using a energy monitoring plug to monitor the washer.
Oh,
I'll have to revisit that project when I have time, but I have other challenges. For example, now that it's getting into the hotter season, I have to fix my air conditioning automation. I've been a
that
bit,
sounds crazy.
yeah, I've been a bit busy, so I've just had to revert to using the button on the air conditioner like a caveman. No. Anyway, every so often I fantasize about getting one of those new modern air conditioners that has integrated smarts. Someday. So,
Someday.
yep. So, Google put out a story about how they're building sustainable hardware. They're increasing use of recycled materials. They're providing new repair parts. They are certifying their retail operations, building low energy consumption buildings. So, all the friendly things you would expect a company to talk about doing.
Good.
But at the same time, they're talking about all these wonderful environmental things. They are shutting down the Google Now launcher.
Oh my.
I like the Google Now launcher.
It would be nice if Google made sustainable software and sustained it.
They don't do that. They need to kill everything we love.
Those evil bastages.
There are more evil people, but I find that it is very callous. So if you're a fan of railroads, Sid Meier's Railroads is now available for Android.
Ooh. What?
What do you mean what? You can also get it for iOS. You can grow profits through efficiency, innovation, and shrewd business decisions,
Nice.
and become the greatest railroad tycoon of the age.
Of the age.
I don't
Cool.
know which railroad tycoon do you want to emulate?
I don't know.
Are
I
you
don't
like
know.
a Cornelius Vanderbilt type guy? No? Okay.
I don't know. I am acknowledged.
Yeah. My favorite was the person who became president of the railroad and then tried to take possession of one of the locomotives at gunpoint. That's a great story.
Would
Remind me
he
to
do
tell it to
that?
you. What?
Why would he do that?
It was the 19th century. Weird things happen.
Okay, I'll buy that.
I have to find a copy of that story. Unfortunately, the author is deceased, and last I checked, it was out of print. And then one day I found out that Amazon had taken that two of the books had fallen out of copyright, and somebody had taken them and put them on Amazon as ebooks.
Right.
So I wish somebody would do all of them because these books, if you get an original copy, because it is so hard to get a hold of, an original copy of one volume of this 6 volume series could run you several $100s. So if somebody did digitize the whole thing so I could read the interesting information inside, I would love it. But one of these books is the one where I heard that story. But I had to borrow it from a library. And since it's
Seems like crazy talk to me.
no, it's a rare out of print book, I had to get the library to order it from via interlibrary loan from another library. So I'd love it if those books came back so I could tell those stories again and remind myself. But I just checked on eBay, and yeah, you can get a copy for like $300 of one of the volumes.
Goodness gracious.
That's a lot for an out of print history book.
That's yep.
Yep. The Android team is imposing new rules about account and data deletion on app developers. So developers of apps will be required to provide an option for users to initiate accounts and data associated with such account and deletion from both the app and the web. So the idea being is if you have an account, you should be able to delete that account and, of course, the associated data with that account.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Google has a lot of ability to pressure companies, don't they?
They do.
So we also missed the launch of Home Assistant 2023.4.
Oh no! Luckily, there wasn't a whole lot to it.
Well, it happened the day before we didn't record. Why, there were some nice things in there. So you have your new dialogues for alarm covers and fan entities. I'm not sure how I feel about these new dialogues. Essentially, the ones that look like a weird sliding button.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
I
have
would
a
agree.
problem with them as an option, but it seems like that's the only thing you can do now.
Yep.
They also enhanced alarm control panels, which I have not used, although I have succeeded in annoying members of my family with the Ring alarm panel that I integrated as a way of turning the Home Assistant alarm on and off. My
Huh.
father discovered the secret to how to address the issue of forgetting his phone and forgetting the password to turn the alarm off. It's called pulling the thing out of the wall angrily.
Ah, did it work?
No, there were other things beeping. He systematically pulled all of them out of the wall.
But eventually, he got to the right one.
No, he got to all of them, as in, I have more than one thing that beeps. So all the cameras, when the system is armed, all of the UFI cameras will make beeping noises if they detect motion. So essentially, as you
That
move through the house,
sounds
they'll be really
lovely.
that's sort of the point, isn't it? The fact that he can't remember the simple instruction of keep your phone or press in a 4-digit code on a keypad is not my fault. So moving along, Home Assistant now allows macros for templates.
Yep.
So the idea is you could write yourself a little macro or a little function that will do something that you need to repeat over and over again.
I thought that's what scripts were for.
Well, no, scripts would be a complete thing, whereas macros are more of
A tiny thing?
a function. So think of it in programming terms as,
Okay.
and that's useful. So if you look at the example that appears in the notes for it, it would be you want to run your function, which is answer question light.kitchen, and the answer question function is the attribute of that particular item on? If so, yes, no. Pretty boring one.
Yep. I mean, possibly way important, but I didn't.
No, I meant the example is boring. I think the
Yeah.
I think macros are useful. So they also added a few other things like a function to list all your areas, a function to determine whether or not an entity is hidden, some improvements to relative time, and some loop improvements. So they added break and continue, which I know I've used in other languages.
Super important programming constructs there.
Yeah. And they've added some improvements to the database. So there's a new format to reduce the space to store history.
Which is super important to me.
Yeah. Speed at no
No,
cost to efficient.
I'm running my home assistant out of space because you remember I've talked to you about putting new um, weights or new scales under my bed.
Yeah.
Well, there's six of them, right? They're all reporting back, and they're reporting back raw values every tenth of a second. And they're also those raw values are also getting translated into uh, calibrated values, and those are going into the database every tenth of a second.
So why do you want to store those?
I, um, oops.
You do know you can like exclude things from being stored, right?
Well, I didn't know I needed to until I'm running out of disk space.
No, I know. I'm just saying that maybe instead of storing the individual weights, you want to essentially put in a template sensor that can determine whether or not you think there's somebody in the bed.
No, I want the actual weight, but I only want like the weight of like each side as a whole. And um, I created a script that every day will delete a whole bunch of them. A recorder dot purge entities.
Yeah, you could also not store the individual entities and just store your combined entity.
But I didn't know I could do that until like now.
You can do
Sounds
that.
like super amazingly great idea.
You can do that.
I can do that.
It can be done.
Can be done.
Yeah.
Cool.
So moving along, if you took advantage of one particular piece of smart home equipment, apparently anybody can open your garage door. So these are the Next devices, NEXX, and this device apparently employs a easy to find universal password.
Wow, that's crazy.
They also broadcast the unencrypted email address, device ID, first name, and last initial corresponding to each one.
That doesn't sound like a good idea.
Nope. So hopefully that'll get fixed. But either way, people are advising you might want to shut it down for a bit until they can fix that.
Yep.
So the people over at Stacy on IoT, specifically Stacy of IoT, suggested that you consider a smart home spring clean.
Seems like a super great idea to me.
Yeah. So I'm sympathetic to Stacy Higginbotham because as somebody who covers smart technology, she probably installs a lot of it, tries it, and then gets stuck with it or has to keep redoing things regularly.
Yep.
Not for the fun reason we do it. I'm sure she's doing it for work. But again, every so often you should again clean things up a bit. So I thought that was an important public service announcement.
It is. If only there was an easy way to do that.
Nothing is easy. Haven't you learned that by now?
No.
Okay. If you use Google Podcasts, it has reached 500 million downloads just by itself. Can I get a
Wow.
woohoo?
Woohoo!
I've been catching up on my podcast listening because I've been commuting all week.
Nice. I
Yes.
mean, not nice that you're commuting, but
Well, I'm not commuting to work. I've been doing off-site meetings, so I'm commuting somewhere else. And unfortunately, I'm coming back in the thick of rush hour traffic. So what would have normally been a 20-minute drive was actually an hour-long drive. On a
wow.
positive note, maybe I'll get through the 20 episodes I'm behind on. Google Home is testing a redesign for device controls on their lock screen.
Yay. Cool.
They keep
Yay.
redesigning stuff. I haven't gotten used to the old stuff.
That's just not cool.
Yeah. And Android 14 will apparently offer a new security setting for enhanced pin privacy.
Enhanced privacy.
Enhanced pin privacy. So this is
Ah,
disable all the animations while you're entering in a pin. So if somebody's stooping behind you, they will have trouble seeing what the pin is.
sounds like a good idea to me.
And finally, if you are a user of the Android Home Assistant app, 2023.3 was released at the end of March, and it includes a feature that I've been using ever since, which has been in the
Yeah.
iOS app for a bit, which is the ability to configure multiple Home Assistant servers.
Ooh. And you do that because you have more than one.
Well, I have more than one under my administration. I don't have more than one in one place. So I have the New York one, the Florida one, and the not New York, New York one.
The not New York one.
Well, let's refer to it as the Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie sites.
I like it.
Yes, I'm an Alpha site right now. So, what other excitement have you been up to, Jerry, in the absence of this program?
Dude. I upgraded and rebuilt my printer over the weekend.
I need to get mine up and running again. After the disaster that was repairing the cabinets in my kitchen, I moved some stuff around in here, and the 3D printer is sitting on what used to be my kitchen microwave cart.
Mm-hmm.
Because when they replaced the cabinets, I was able to put up one of those under cabinet microwaves as a space saving device. But I just have to really clean up in here. And I was away last week. This week I'm doing a whole bunch of meetings all week, and then next week and the week after I'm out of the country. So I don't know when I'm going to be able to sit here and move enough stuff around in the room so I can actually set the printer up neatly. Hopefully soon, though. I need 3 weeks where nothing is happening and I can just be at home.
Yeah.
Not working necessarily, but like not doing other stuff outside
Yeah.
of work. We'll get there someday. I also have another project because I have to upgrade my computers to Fedora 38, which came out.
Ooh.
Well, this is the interesting thing. Some of my servers are running Ubuntu 22.04 LTS, but all of my desktops run in Fedora 30, whatever version I'm on. I think 37 is what most of them are on. And they'll be moving to 38. So it's exciting. It introduces a lot of new features. Desktop improvements, sysadmin improvements, new base kernel. Fun, fun, fun.
Fun. I like it.
Yep. So, shall we adjourn for the evening, and next week we will endeavor to locate an appropriate time?
I like it.
Okay. I'm going to go try to recover from what ended up being a long day.
All right, man.
And to all of you who hopefully missed us, if you missed us the last few weeks, I hope that my mood tonight, which has taken us on too many tangents, did not scare you away and say they shouldn't come back for 3 or 4 weeks. You may have noticed how I compose myself in the show in terms of my order or disorder depends on how things are going. If I'm tired, I may do one thing. If I'm awake, I may be in a slightly different mood. So we'll see. So, Jerry, we will talk in the future.
All right. I like it. I love it.
You love the future,
I do.
but the future is now.
No. Now is the future.
Yeah, now. What I said, now.
No. Now.
No, that was then.
No. It was then.
Yeah, now it's
Or it
now.
is then. It was then. All right, man.
Until
So,
next time.
until next time. Bye, folks.
Goodbye.
Recording stopped.
Stream is ending. There we are.